All right. Here we are. We're here.
That's right. We live, baby.
Hey, a haircut. I'm going to try to do that tomorrow.
I need to get one.
So what you been up to, bud?
Oh, catching up from excess power, getting ready for a heat wave this weekend. Luckily, Nick's doing everything with the wagon. He's towing it out there. He's gonna run. He's doing everything. So I'm gonna go do SQ stuff
Okay.
because it's a triple point IASCA event. So that'll be a good time. Get some good feedback.
Very cool. Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, there's always a lot going on.
I mean, it's been pretty wild over here. When you're getting ready to do a big large scale build for somebody, you go, hey, I gotta hammer out all this shit, and then I can do yours. And this is where you're at, and this is about when we're gonna get you in. And it might be a little later than that, and they go, I understand, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're doing like small and medium scale shit, people are like, isn't my shit just take a couple days? And it's
You're
like,
like,
yes,
yeah,
but
yeah,
there's
but
15 things that take a couple of days in front of
yeah,
yours. And nobody's given me the like, hey bro, what the fuck? But like, I almost won't be surprised if I get that from anybody. I've gotten the like, hey, Bobby said tentatively we were gonna have me drop my truck off today or tomorrow, but I haven't heard from him, so I just wanted to reach out because I don't like want to show up or not show up, but
yeah,
and it was just like your box is actively being assembled, but we don't want to have you bring your truck in until we assemble the box. So he's
absolutely.
like, cool, I understand, and it's just kind of this. Everybody's great, and my customer base is fantastic. I just have a lot of pressure on me and my team to get everybody's shit done in as timely a manner as humanly fucking possible. But it's just it's wild. Yeah, communication is huge. I like, we had a customer order a HD 1200 JL amp from us. He had picked up one of our JL 13W7 box and sub from us, and he ordered the amp, and it was like, yeah, we'll just ship it to you once it arrives. Like, no problem, because he doesn't live super close. We live close enough to pick up his sub and box, and he was like, what amp should I run? And I was like, you should run this, and then, you know what I mean? So anyway, we just like, a few days had gone by, and I was like, where the fuck is that amp? And it was like, oh shit, it's coming from Florida. So it took a minute longer than we expected. So it was like, hey, let that customer know. And he's like, oh, you guys are the best. I was wondering, and I was about to send a message, but I didn't want to bug you. I'm so glad you reached out. And it was like, just stay super duper communicating with people, and they're fine. You know what I mean? It's just kind
Yeah,
of
that's every now and then I'll get people messaging me. They're like, oh, just looking for an update, blah blah. And that's normal. That's fine. But, yeah,
yeah.
that's all. That's all the time. Every now and then people be like, oh, they'll tell me you need to work on your communication. I'm like, look, man, if I took, I understand. You want to update, so that's why I give you one. But you want me to reach out to you? Look, that's going to add a lot of time to everything. If I got to reach out to everybody
Yeah, if it's a
consistently.
$150 box design, and if you spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes communicating with customers on top of the, letting them know where you're at, then that really bites into your dollars per minute
Yeah,
of
which
the work you're doing. Where like, we're doing a $4,000 worth of amps and speakers and stuff for the customer. If we can stay hyper communicating with people, and with regards to people's custom boxes, with the rate that we've had to keep increasing the price, because here's the deal. There's a lot of guys that make a lot of promises and go on the internet and talk about shit about we charge too much money and whatever the fuck else, but they build a lot of shitty ass boxes that people go, yeah, I ordered a box from this guy out in Florida, and after 6 months it arrived, and I'm not putting that in anything, and I paid him $900 for it. But fuck that, I need one of yours, and I'm gonna buy something from you, and I want something special and handcrafted custom shit, and I want it to be amazing. And all of a sudden they have a fucking $3,800 custom box, and you want to put some pressure on yourself to build something really fucking amazing in a timely manner. Charge damn near $4,000 for a fucking custom box for 2 15s with an acrylic window on it and a bunch of lights and shit. That thing has to be fucking titties. Like, we're over there
mint.
body filling every tiny void in the laminate layers that we can find, and we're re-sand and stain them just so, and every fucking inch of everything is we're doing, you know, I mean, it's a two-sided piece of material, right? But you got to like machine this side and then do this sequence and then flip it and machine that side and do that sequence and then flip it back and machine it here so that you can have this. It's got resin on the backside and it's got the LED raceway and the little insert that goes in the front to hide the LEDs and all the fasteners and like this. These fucking acrylic pieces that are going on these boxes.
Can't you just do it in a day? Good Lord. Gosh, bro. Jeez.
Push a button. Push a button, bro.
Done.
And yeah, it's fucking challenging to like perform, right? And then I'm like, is it fucking as perfect as it can be? And we shipped the box out. Like we had one recently. It was fucking beautiful. We packed it up, shipped it. Customer goes to pick it up, and it had been impacted by a forklift.
Damn.
And we're like, motherfucker. And he's like, hey, I didn't try to unwrap it or anything because I wanted it to stay as wrapped as possible to when it came back to you. So I didn't even get to look at the fucking thing. It arrives, we unpack it. It's got a pretty significant blem, but like our boxes are pretty tough. That forklift hit that motherfucker pretty hard, but we sanded it a little bit. Mixed up a fucking badass batch of like jet black body filler, filled that shit just so, sanded it, and it almost was like an attractive aesthetic in the repair, and it was in a spot that's totally hidden. So we sent him a bunch of pictures. He's like, "That's fucking awesome! Oh my god, it's beautiful! I'm so excited!" We got it right back out to him, but goddamn, dude, you know, it's. You know, we go, we're charging more money for the boxes. We have to because of the demand. But like, we're charging more money for the boxes. They have to be that much better too. So like the dollars per hour almost adds up the same because it's such an incredible level of meticulous detail to build these fucking things like they are that, yeah, it's fucking nuts. And I love it and I enjoy it and I love all of the challenge and I love like we're fucking juggling, you know, 4 different installs in the install bay. We got 5 or 6 different custom orders that are all kind of happening in the same time. Here comes Steve. Here he is. Yay. I almost also like booted him out as well. There you go. Good job on the configuration. So anyway, Steve, how are you? It's dark in there. You're in a dungeon.
Hi.
Hi.
Is it dark?
Yeah, it's
pretty dark, dude.
It's kind of green looking.
Yeah, it is kind of green looking too. That's kind of weird.
Looks like you're in a sex dungeon.
Again.
All right, hang on.
That's the same shirt Steven had on at Excess Power Show.
He's got his gray sweatpants on. Are you gonna shake it or what?
There we go. I starred a couple questions. We'll go through that while he does that.
Okay, yeah.
How are the new amps doing in their Tahoe? They're not doing anything. They're just sitting there pretty because they're not hooked up yet. I did order like $500 worth of 90s from Jim, so those are on the way.
Those are fucking sick, huh?
I'm excited.
Me and Jim came up with those when we were at Steve's event at the Showdown when we were talking about Jason Blackboom's build. That's going to have some wild shit going on. So, yeah. And we ordered a bunch of those. Actually, I think I still have to pay that invoice. We ordered a bunch of those from Jim just to have in stock, but we already are waiting on 2 of them for one of the builds we're working on. Yeah.
So you're talking about the new ones, right? Like the new things that with the lugs?
Yes.
I'm just talking about 90-degree, just normal 90s. Like 10 to 10, just to keep it tucked in against the size of the amps. And I'm gonna
you should. He has a way to just have it be a lug onto that.
Well, so I have to redo all these. Oh, I have to redo some of these wires. Some will reach. So they already have ferrules on them, and they're already kind of done. So I'm trying to save a couple dollars. But where if it's required to spend money, I will. especially for this build, because this is probably going to be the last time that this vehicle gets built. So, but I'm going to wrap every wire in black Tech Flex that's on the sides. So hopefully it's going to be fairly look like there's nothing there.
Okay.
I mean, if something slips through the cracks, you got to own up to it. That's right.
We rarely get anything that slips through the cracks. We're really on top of a lot of shit. But
I do. But but when it happens,
man.
I own it and I do whatever I can to make it right.
Yeah, that's right.
How's that?
I don't believe Sky High bought Phi if they're only carrying their product. What?
No, they bought Phi.
Can we talk about Phi being bought by Sky High Car Audio? Yes.
Yes, and yes, that's the answer. Yep. I'm actually super duper excited about it because now I have access to a bunch of fucking badass equipment.
Brother, preach.
I'm just gonna tell this to you guys and be the arrogant person that I am. I am fucking super good at designing subwoofers now. You guys wait till you see the wild shit that I've come up with. I have magical fucking shit happening, and we'll be testing prototypes that I've done simulations with and things of that nature. And I have something coming that's going to be really fucking outstanding. So
good. I'm glad to hear it.
And it's a good chance that we may manufacture some of the parts at the FI facility, as well as some of the stuff that I'm having tooled overseas. All just kind of based on how everything pans out. So yeah. Well, thank you, Stephen Dunn. We actually love that system. That thing is a lot of fun. We worked really, really fucking hard on that, and that thing's a sexy beast. It's a fun little Porsche. It sounds fucking great, and it hammers. So yeah.
Hell yeah. So, Excess Power was hot. It was really hot. Going back to that comment saying he wished more shows were in spring. Excess Power was 1 billion degrees, and there was no wind. It was
hotter than scraping.
Yes. Yeah, it was just oppressive. But we had a good time.
Was it hotter than the hot year at Slam? The hot year at Slam, it was 100. And
it felt hotter because there was, I mean, when I say no wind, I mean just stagnant air. Just
if you dropped a feather and it would just fall straight down.
100%.
Yeah.
Unless Steven had his stereo on. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
But no, we car did great. We showed up, had to recone a sub before I even turned it on. It's one of the original pre-production subs from over a year ago. I turned everything on just to make sure it worked. I heard like a rattling. I'm like, Get to looking. Yeah. One of the triple joints had failed, and it was, like I said, one of the old subs. So I was like, not a big deal. Get that done. Demo between Matt Mergenthal and myself, we demoed that thing all day. Went to go compete after the car cooled down for like an hour. Pulled out from the tent, went to make a turn. No power steering. I'm like,
Does that mean I also don't have alternators?
That meant there also was no alternator. I was like, so like the water pump is on the timing side. So I didn't I didn't know. I was like, man, when did this happen? I was like, because the car stays on a power supply. That's my new thing. If you see a vehicle of mine at a show, it's gonna be on power supply. I don't care how big the alternators are, because like when you're not doing anything, it's charging. I was like, when did this happen? I was like, oh well, I'm still gonna go compete. So me and Matt drove over there, did back-to-back 30-second music runs, all on battery, car off. It did pretty good.
That's cool.
Car ended up like so it was hot as hell. Obviously, no battery. I mean, no alternator. A bunch of negatives. We only ended up 0.3 down from our last music run. So I was like, oh yeah, that's good. We did 39 hertz and 29 hertz. Did good. I don't know if we won either. I know we got second in the 39 hertz class. Got beat by a vehicle with 815s.
What org?
Base Wars.
What's 39 class?
39 hertz. That's so the class is 30 to 39 hertz. Okay. Music. I'd say 39 just because that's what everyone's playing, because that's the top of the class.
That's kind of a cool. I didn't know they had a class like that. I don't know.
So it's 20. There's 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, et cetera, et cetera. So I normally run the car 30. The 30 to 39, which is Cyclone, and then Typhoon, which is 20 to 29, because it does really good on both. So, like I said, we lost. We got second place in Cyclone, 39 hertz. Got beat by 0.8 dB by a build with 815. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Hell yeah.
Jason's gonna have a show. What is it called again, Jason?
It's right there. Seaport Showdown.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm sorry.
Speaking of Showdown, Ryan asked what's going on. So I know you guys probably saw my post. The Prim is not going to happen. They're ridiculous. A few different issues. I thought I talked about it last week about them.
You did a little bit, but like we want to review again.
Yeah. They want all the vendors to use the same size tents, and they didn't even include Sunday, and their price was ridiculous. So I reached out to somebody. Who was it? I think his name's Mike. Dude lives out in Laughlin. Went down to one of the resorts and found the person I needed to talk to. Got me info. So I talked to that dude, and they're sounds like they're down. I'm just waiting on him to get me back the info, and it would be the dates that I wanted, which is March 1st and 2nd, which is the better dates in my opinion. The weather should be just perfect.
Really nice then, yeah.
And
yeah,
it's about an hour and 20 minutes from Vegas. So people,
South of Vegas or
it's like
east,
I guess. It's
so
just
like
it's on the fucking river. It's on the Colorado River, like at the border of
what's it called?
Arizona, Laughlin. So the resort's really cool. I mean, it has a bunch of
there's Laughlin Air Force Base, isn't it?
What's that?
No, I'm talking to myself.
Laughlin Air Force Base. I
don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, that's probably.
How far is that from Sacramento? Can you do that real quick, Drew?
I can.
Let me see.
9 hours.
Okay, not bad. I mean, like really, it's not actually longer than Vegas for the most part.
No, so it looks like instead of going left at 15, you just stay on 164.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, let me trying to.
We're fucking there, bud. I'm down.
How do I get the satellite view?
Do they have an off-road truck racetrack there too? I want to bring my truck.
There it is. Maybe terrain. Yeah,
I got a satellite view. I'm looking at a satellite of Laughlin right now.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm trying to get the actual resort. Is
that the river there that we're looking at there? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Okay, cool.
Yeah, so right down there, I think on your right you're zooming in. I think that could be Avi.
Guy Fieri's. That's a restaurant. What's the name of the resort?
AVI. Avi.
Damn, that's a big parking lot.
Okay, so if you zoom out just a little bit across the river, see that building?
Okay.
So there's that. We have basically the option of whichever lot we want. So we could do that, which is across from obviously the other side of the river. This is on the Arizona side, and then on the other side of the river is where the resort is. And literally he said, I mean, we could do the lot in the back. We could do the lot by the water. We could do it in the grass. Kind of do wherever, like I said, wherever we want. So the location's dope. I hate that it's not in Vegas, but
I don't.
Yeah, actually,
yeah, I'm good. It's fucking great. Like, I get to Vegas for all kinds of other reasons. I don't need it to also be that. You know what I mean? And every once in a while at some events, there'll be, a 5 or 10% of the people will miss a large portion of the event because they're fucking off in Vegas. You know what I mean?
I like this right here.
Yeah.
So you got the main road, you pull in, and then you have another road and the split road right here so cars would fill in from every direction, not just.
Yeah, and I think it'd be fucking dope, Steve, if you did create kind of a fucking cruise line and you encourage people to fucking do a loop through the fucking thing every once in a while. I kind of dig that.
Yeah, 100%.
This is for Steve's show.
Yeah, it's for the Showdown. I'm just going to remove the Las Vegas part now, I guess. Just call it the Showdown. But yeah, the resort looks dope, and they have everything Vegas has as far as like gambling, restaurants, and it's just for me, it's going to be like a
Willow
vacation.
Springs.
Where's a
What's that?
racetrack that's closing down?
Fucking Steven, like most someone's don't have fucking money to buy a racetrack. You fucking do it. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Willow Springs.
What is
Okay.
that at?
That's a fun track in like Forza and
Rosamond, California.
Shit.
Okay. Yeah, that looks dope.
It's a good time right there.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, like, honestly, if I moved,
Rosamond.
if I ended up moving somewhere that I got land and stuff, like I kind of plan to eventually, I will buy enough land to just do the show on my own property.
Yeah, that'd be fucking dope, Steve. Then you can actually make some real fucking money doing the show, not just busting your ass for a little bit of bucks.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not really all about the money, obviously, but yeah, it would be nice. But then I could just kind of do whatever the fuck I want, and I really feel like I can make a Burning Man style show for us audio people and get like slam size crowds, it would be dope. But
speaking of Burning Man, I'm going to Burning Man this year. Did I talk about that last week?
Yeah, he did.
We just
excited?
ordered a yeah. I went 20 years ago when I was 29 years old. I went, and we had a good time. It was pretty wild. I fought in Thunderdome and shit. I think I told the story last week. But there's a Mad Max style show. It's called Wasteland, which might be a good time to go fuck around out. And I'm sure they would think base vehicles are fun as fuck. So we should all base heads invade Wasteland. And I bet it'd be like a bunch of motherfuckers that are right up our alley, like whiskey drinking, fucking wild motherfuckers. You might see some wild ass dudes.
when is that, Bobby? When is it?
Draws on, but whatever. I don't know when the fucking Wasteland is, but Burning Man is in like fucking 5 weeks or some shit. So we ordered an AC unit for the van and a little vent thing, batteries, and fucking inverter, and we're gonna retrofit the van up for
Are you going the whole time? It's like
it's like 9 days. I think we're gonna do like 6.
Yeah, this is
I'm gonna be dead out there. I'm gonna get Starlink Mini, and I'm bringing my laptop, and I'm gonna sit there naked in my van and design speaker boxes and shit while I'm gone.
Oh,
while you're gone, as far as like your mind's gone.
I mean,
maybe
I might eat some shrooms and shit and drink a little, and smoke a little, but I'm not doing no fucking cocaine or nothing.
Well, no, I meant mushrooms.
Yeah. Mushrooms, yes.
Yeah.
Well, Wasteland is September 25th through 29th. We should just fucking invade that. Should we just do it? Where is it, Jason?
When is I'd be down to probably go to that because I'm off of work those dates. Who you going to Burning Man with?
Me and Allie. And then we have some friends, like actually this woman that Allie grew up with and her dude who seems super cool. And we hung out with them a little bit when we were camping at Halloween a few years ago at Sand Mountain.
Okay.
So yeah, should be kind of cool. Yeah,
How you feeling? You feeling better? Last week you were kind of.
I'm doing a lot better, man. I fucking, man, it's pretty fucking wild. I may have even passed a fucking kidney stone this morning, or I was having like a fucking gas pain that was related to like maybe finally some stuff moving around in my guts. This was like super fucking TMI that we're broadcasting across the internet. But I was like on the fucking floor for a minute, and then I was like, I gotta go potty. And then everything was a lot better, and I chilled out for a minute, and I was like, I'm gonna be okay. And then by the time I got to the shop, I haven't even thought about it all day. Thanks for reminding me.
You didn't hear it drop into the toilet, huh?
No, yeah. It's like, oh no, I didn't. I definitely dropped a deuce and peed a whole bunch. But I've had a similar situation. One time I was at a Arco gas station, and I was burning a fever, and I felt like shit, and I was like, damn, man, I fucking feel terrible. I don't know what the fuck's going on. And I was pumping gas, and it hit me, and I was like, oh, and I fucking dropped to my knees and I was like, oh my God, this is so bad. And I got up and I went in the bathroom with Arco and I was fucking peeing and I was like doing the fucking river dance while I was peeing and fucking pissing all over the fucking place. I'm like, and then like it was like it looked like a tiny thorn that came out of my motherfucking pee hole, and it like for like a fucking day, the inside of my fucking urethra was like a thorn ripped out of it. I was fucking dead, and I was on my way to a training seminar at it was at a shop called Audio 916 that's still local. They're a high-end local shop. They do super nice work. And the Kingpin guy was teaching a seminar there. And me and my buddy Mike Sparman went in there and we're doing that. But I was like, I had a rough morning so far. He's like, how you doing? I'm like, I was like, if I'm like doing a lot better than I was like an hour ago. But I think an hour ago, I fucking pissed out a goddamn kidney stone, but I'm like, I could feel myself getting better. And by the end of the day, I was like, doing all right, no fever. I was like beat up, but it was like, I was afraid to take a sip of water because I was terrified of going pee. So
you're like, not today.
Series of things to talk about that we're broadcasting across the internet.
That's right. Hey, look, someone's got to talk about it.
Yeah. So anyway.
Kidney stones suck. I've had them before, just one time, and it's just like Jerry was saying, it's one of the worst pains you'll ever fucking experience.
Yeah,
it hurts.
Fucking terrible. So I've definitely passed 3 kidney stones, and I may have kicked one out this morning, but it was probably a really little one. Now I will tell you, the fucking cube, the kicker cube, shook one of those motherfuckers free in me, and I passed it. Not horrifically uncomfortably, like 3 days later. I don't know if you guys remember. I did like an involuntary movement trying not to tap, and they were like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, what'd I do? And they were like, you did some weird shit. And I was like, okay. My tummy kind of hurts a little bit. I was like,
So, you're like, yeah, but I bet.
Yeah.
Do you guys watch Kill Tony by chance?
I have a little bit since you told me to.
On TikTok.
I put it on a couple times.
Okay, well, do yourself a favor and watch the
God damn it, Steve turned into a fucking robot again.
Robot?
You're full robot mode and you're frozen.
You're now still? Can you hear me?
Yep, you're still a robot.
Well, we kind of hear you.
Yeah, but you're a robot. And you're frozen.
How about now? Same shit?
You're frozen, but we can hear you okay.
Okay. Well, I'll be right back.
God damn it. Go reset your router. Cock's sake. We forgot to tell Steve about our idea of the thing. I think we can do this over here. Yeah, we can. We can remove the Facebook broadcast. Yeah. So if you guys are on Facebook, do me a favor. Everybody go to YouTube and watch us from YouTube, because I'm going to shut the Facebook part down. Not because I'm a dick and not because I hate you guys, because I am a dick and I do hate you guys, but but I'm kidding. But it's going to help with the following on YouTube. It's good for the channel. So, Steve, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
You look, yeah, but you look really confused.
Am I frozen?
Yep. Kinda. It's getting better. There you go. Now, oh no, God damn it.
Okay.
Sing a song for us or something.
I got to restart my computer. Am I still frozen? I'm good on my side.
Well, it's kind of chunking a little bit. I don't understand why.
All right. Well, we'll
see. Now you're good. You're pretty good right now. Hey, can you hear me okay, Steve?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Guys.
So check it out. I was talking to my buddy Josh Thede, Harley Designs. And he's a pretty very, very experienced YouTube guy. And he was telling me that what we should start doing on our show is and telling everybody that's watching the show at the 30-minute mark or so, we should tell everybody to make their way over to Facebook or from Facebook to YouTube and
Okay.
log into YouTube and watch us from YouTube, and then shut down the broadcast that's going to Facebook at about the 30-minute mark of our show. And that will significantly help boost the views of our show across the
On
board.
YouTube. No.
So, can you guys do that? Does anybody have a problem with doing that? Those of you that are watching,
Yeah, everybody watching, go to YouTube.
go to YouTube.
And,
Come on, you can do
and
it.
then comment in the comments that you're in YouTube now, and then we'll.
Yeah.
I don't know how to like stop the.
Oh, I
right,
just
right
click the little
here.
thing up here and say
Yeah, yeah.
remove, and that should do
Okay.
it. And
Should I
then
do that?
maybe somebody can verify that we booted it off of there. You guys ready? You guys there? You love me? You can do it.
All right, I'm
Okay,
doing it. Are you doing it or am I doing it?
I'm doing it. Here we go. Remove.
Oh my
Remove
god!
this destination from the stream. Remove. Remove.
Oh, it's gone.
It's gone from Facebook, or the whole thing is gone?
No, just the face, just Facebook.
Okay.
Hell yeah!
And then before next week, we have to make sure that it's up on the YouTube. So,
It's always up on YouTube. Yeah.
all right.
What I was going to say before I got closed off there about Kill Tony is you guys have to watch the last episode they did. So two comedians, you guys know who Shane Gillis is. He's probably the most popular comedian in the world right now. And he does Donald Trump, an amazing impression. And then a guy named, I'm pretty sure it's Adam Gay. Could be wrong about the last name. Adam something. He's playing Joe Biden. So Biden and Trump are on Kill Tony on the panel.
Okay.
And it's unfucking believably funny. I mean, I laughed so hard, literally from beginning to end. You guys, you have to watch it.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. We'll check it out.
Moving around.
Oh, nice.
Adam Ray, not Adam Gay. Yeah, Adam Ray. I knew it was something like that.
Okay.
Do you know? You ever see the Dr. Phil comedian?
Yes.
That's him. That's who Adam Ray is.
Okay.
Yeah. He's
very
fucking
cool.
hilarious.
All
He's so
right.
funny.
Good deal. Well, I'm glad everybody is moved over. And if you guys don't already follow us on or subscribe to our YouTube channel, do that shit now. And what the fuck is wrong with you for not?
Right? Like, how dare you?
How dare you?
Yeah,
All
he
right.
waves coming up, huh?
Yeah, I was
Yeah, that's
almost
wicked.
gonna fly my ass out there, but I'm really glad I didn't make that decision because I'm fucking dead over here. I was telling the first like 10 minutes of the show before you jumped on, Steve. I was talking about like how we have this massive amount, and I'm so thankful. I'm fucking so excited. I love it. Incredible amount of like very elaborate custom boxes to build, and medium and small-ish scale audio systems that we're working on, and like it is like this flow pattern of tons of shit getting done, and we're hiring a new guy, and we're giving Tyson some new responsibilities. We're going to teach Tyson how to design in Fusion, and he's going to become a production supervisor. So he's going to start operating the CNC, and then Anthony is going to move more into the office and help me with big design stuff, so that I can work on more future design, like designing subwoofers and baskets and other crazy shit that we're working on, because we got more shit to do. So, but yeah, it's been fucking nuts. So anyway,
Nice.
That's one of the reasons why I'm not going to fucking Heatwave. I kind of would really love to, but I gotta do this shit. Soulgasm will be at Heatwave when Byron gets it unloaded. Him and I are jump on a call. I'm gonna explain the operation process of how to run the Soulgasm with the new Bluetooth head unit system that it's working on, and it may be semi-temporary. We maybe make some different changes to it, but I don't know. It works pretty fucking cool now. Drew saw how it operated. It was kind of fun. I just put my phone in this little tray, and it's got a DRC 205 JL controller in it that runs the main volume and the subs, and you beep boop on your phone to get you done. So it's pretty awesome. But
Sorry, it was someone who had ordered a design said they decided to design it themselves and wanted a refund. So
that's cool. This should
they can
happen.
have one minus 10% because you eat up my time.
We already ate up a little bit of time. Yeah, exactly.
And a little bit because I was like trying to help out even before, like you just with ideas and stuff before you even paid.
Yeah.
So I was like, look, it's gonna be 10%, which is like that's I feel like that's super generous. You know, a lot of people who do full custom stuff like this would be like, nah, man, nothing.
Yeah. The answer is no. Yeah. What are you charging for box designs now?
It's still the same.
What was that last one?
90, 100, 90, 110, 120 plus more for additional subs. That's what it is. Yeah.
Was that single sub, dual, triple, or something?
Up to 4 normally.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
And you're creating cut lists and things of that nature, right?
Yep.
A rendering.
It's a lot. Yeah. Yeah.
And an instructions to build.
Not instructions per se, but like whole bunch of rendering showing measurements and where everything goes and labels and this and that and all that. Yeah.
Bobby, when you were doing flat pack boxes, I don't know if you still do or not.
We have we don't do any custom flat packs at all, like zero. But we have 2 flat pack boxes that we still produce. The last time we built them, we built like 50 of each. And so now the last time I looked, there was like 17 of one and 9 of the other. And
nice. Okay.
It's one of those things that, it's been like almost 2 years, right? So they're selling, right? We sold fucking like 70 boxes or so in that 2 years of those models, right? That's a couple SKUs. That's not doing bad at all. It's kind of one of those things. And they don't take it because they're flat packs and the way they pack up, they don't take a huge footprint in Sky High's warehouse. So it works out pretty well. It's one of those things is they get a little bit closer to being at 0, then John and I will discuss whether or not we want to let that discontinue or we make more. It's a tough one because like
I feel like if those were,
we make money, but yeah,
I feel like if they were pushed more or promoted more, I bet you guys would sell more. I feel like a lot of people don't know about them, and I think they would. I don't see how they don't just sell like crazy for guys. Even if you did something kind of cool,
my flat pack is like only a little less expensive than what some dude could build a pretty good one for them done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But some people love to do it themselves. So like I had a customer little over a year ago and he ordered a big crazy custom box from us. And then he called me back like an hour later and was like, can I buy a couple of those flat packs, the single 15 and the double 12? I got a bunch of subs and all kinds of shit around here. And me and my son will put them together. And I was like, yeah, cool. Fucking badass. Have fun. And then he was like, called me up and was like, I'm sending you guys some pictures. And he fucking put custom stain on them and did all kinds of cool shit. And they built them all awesome. And they did a really good job. But I did have in about a year ago, I had a customer contact me and was like, hey, can I buy this one panel of the box? I fucked it up. And I was like, no, like I can't produce just the one panel. The way that we are set up and how we produce those, that's actually not reasonable at all. And he was like, fuck.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it's like, I'm like, I don't even understand how the fuck you did that. And he's like, oh, I glued it wrong. And I'm like, dude, there is a fucking whole instruction video on YouTube on how it goes together. And in those instructions, it's like you dry fit the whole thing together. You can't put the wrong part on the wrong part. Like how, and so it's a little bit of a tough one, but we might, and if we do it again, I will have to re-engineer it again because all of the engineering for those was done in the Cabinet Vision software back at King's Custom Cabinetry, my buddy's shops where we started manufacturing the boxes. So I suppose we could bring those up and just run those again. But I think it'd probably be a better idea for me to make it something that we cut here at the shop. I suppose. I don't know.
Drew,
It could be one of those things where I'm like, hey, you want to run these fucking things? And they go, fuck yeah, we do. And then I'm like, fuck it, do it. Or we, re-engineer them a little bit here and take.
Drew, do you have people ever asking you? I'm sure you do, but like to actually build the box for them or cut wood or any of that shit?
Yeah. I actually get it a lot. People who don't know, what all we do and don't do. That, I mean, it's almost daily. Someone's asking to have something built. It's like, So I normally send them a link to, like, for if it's something custom, I send them to like Built by Thor, or which is the local guy, but he ships Next Level, or if they're like, and then obviously Bobby too. But no, I normally reserve Bobby stuff for like larger things. Like, look, I want something crazy. I'm like, here you go, here's Bobby. But because I don't want to. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to send a lot of these people to Bobby because I know how they're gonna be, and I don't want to waste his time with. I need 110 and I need it yesterday type boxes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have those in stock.
Prefab, like stuff like that. Absolutely. But I'm talking about like a dude messaged me today for a side-by-side box for 110 he wanted built.
Yeah.
No, I guess what I was kind of getting at was like, I wonder, I mean, not thinking about it, wouldn't be, I mean, it might be profitable. I don't know, to actually like have a CNC that cut your designs out and you sent flat packs basically of your design. Obviously, it would cost.
Thought about it.
Here's the thing: is money. This is what I've found.
It would probably be a pain in the ass because you're doing a lot of one-off shit.
And a lot. I mean, there's a lot of people that can handle it, but there's a lot of people that think they can handle it. So the fear is, you do all this work, you build this big elaborate flat pack, you pack this thing up, you ship it off to this person, and then they start fucking parts up, and then they're blaming it on you.
Right. Yeah. It would have to be like how your boxes, like they could only go together
it's
one way.
Snap together like Legos, and that makes it really challenging. So that's one of the things about the custom boxes we build is Anthony came to me at one point and he was like, look, if we want the regular production guys to be able to build these customs, we have to create all the complex dimensional dados and dadoing and drill points everywhere, just like we do on our production boxes, or they're gonna get a little fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, and people are ordering a custom box, and it's like, it's kind of handcrafted custom shit, but it's also a Gately Audio product. And if you sand through the laminate layer over here, some people get like, oh man, you sanded through the laminate layer. And they're like, well, man, we were fighting to get that part in place, and it's right there. It's a fucking 32nd of an inch off, but that's how thick a laminate layer is. So when we sanded that edge, it pulled a little bit of that laminate layer away. And if that's a problem for you, then I should have charged more money and I should have done better. And so the next time we put more time into making sure that once the box snaps together, we got a little bit of meat to machine off of that thing and make it so that everything is perfect and flush. And we didn't get through laminate layers. And, you make a production prototype that, like, I'm in there at 1 o'clock in the morning building it, and I'm stapling it together and firing some screws in it. And I'm like, cool. And I'm like, hey, John, fucking, here's the SoundCube proto production box. What do you think? And he's like, that's fucking sick. And they bring it out there to the Showdown, and they post some pictures, and a bunch of fucking losers that couldn't engineer their way out of a wet paper fucking bag are talking shit about my laminate layer that I sanded through at fucking 1 a.m. on something that I didn't expect to show up to an event. so like, you gotta have it just so. And the flat pack thing, it's a really fine line of getting yourself into. My flat packs build so incredibly easily. Like, I built the whole fucking thing done in like 15 minutes. Like done. Like I was like, here's the
Yeah.
stuff. Unpack. Boom, boom, glue, screw, boom, boom, boom. It's done. It snaps all together. And that was with me doing a test fit. All right, make sure all the parts go where they go. And every single one before we pack it up gets test assembled like that. That way they don't get any parts mixed up. Because what shows up here after we order 50 of each fucking box is hundreds of parts that all look like pieces of fucking wood, right? So they have to make sure, and they go, all right, this is this, and then they count out, all right, it's like 74 screws plus 10 extra. You fucking pack that thing up in that certain way, stretch wrap it just so, put the cardboard corners on it, pack it up. So it's if the customer, if you don't make it perfect, it better be fucking perfect. But I'm finding that there is a small percentage of no matter how perfect and simple it is. It's a single 15 or a double 12, and they both assemble almost identically, right? And they're super fucking easy to build. We talked about when we made that big batch of them. It was probably 7 or 8 weeks before one of the barbecues, right? A couple of years ago, year and a half, 2 years ago. And me and Allison talked about bringing like 8 of them out and having a fucking race, like going, here's a brand new tube of glue, here's a fucking flat back box, here's a fucking drill, and that's all you fucking need. Here's the race, and having like 8 guys on workbenches to fucking build these things and just turning them loose. And it was like, and maybe I'll participate in the race and I'll do it with a blindfold on.
Oh, come on.
And being like, seeing how well we could do it. And I mean, I don't expect I would win, but it'd be kind of funny because as long as I just complete the fucking thing while wearing a blindfold, that's pretty epic, right? So that's how easy those things are to build, and people still fuck them up a little bit. It's not super often, but like I probably had 4 people go, I fucked up building your flat pack, and I had one guy that was like, I fucked it up really good. Because he was all the way to just putting the bottom panel on, and he put the glue on, and he stuck it on there, and he like didn't snap it into place right. And he started firing screws in, and then he didn't realize it and like was fucked up. And he was like, I'll come back and fix that later. And then he just ordered a new one. I gave him a little bit of a discount, and he bought a second one, and he built it, and he was good to go. And he was like, I learned,
Mm-hmm. We are watching amplifier measurements occur inside my shop right in a second.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
So the Ruthless amps all are going to land here tomorrow morning. That's scheduled. So any of you guys that are waiting for Ruthless amps, I have them up and live and available on gatelyaudio.com. You guys can jump right on there and purchase it, and I will print labels in the morning. And as we're unpacking, I'll fucking ship them out.
This is a prototype 4-channel. For I don't know if I can say who it's for, but I got like 12 of them from this company to run through. So.
Very cool.
So right now I have it set to every 60 seconds it increases the level 0.1 dB FS. Well, 0.1 dB FS, and because we're at the very top of the amplifier, so 370 watts out of each channel right now is what it just did. So. Just measure, see how much power it makes up to 1% distortion, and doing all that. Nope, not a water horse. I already tested that. Been had that. Yep, fun times.
Jason trying to stir up some shit.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty not that cool when people like super duper duplicate the shit out of people's things. I do think it's totally cool when a company will research the shit out of something, right? I mean, like Kicker's got a stack of everybody's super badass woofers, every single amazing piece of product that you think of, they got it and they engineered behind it, and they also have their own team engineers that are making a bunch of their own direct stuff. But if you'd be a dummy to not learn from what's already existing. But they also aren't taking things that exist and making it exactly the same or like popping a mold directly off of it or anything like that. An example of a company that does that is like DS18.
I once saw a DS18 generator, like gasoline generator.
Really?
Swear to God, I can't remember. It must have been online, but
Yeah, they have.
They thought about it. They
ridiculous-
got in that catalog and they're like, let's see what happens if we try to sell 2 dozen of those. And they fucking showed up on
they got a little bit of
pallet.
everything. It's pretty fucking crazy. I mean, I think the post that he's referring to is the one from Barnaby.
Yeah.
With his amp rack thing. I mean, I don't know. Whatever. It's never going to stop. It's just
no.
It's going to always happen. But
yeah,
I mean,
that's pretty.
When you're that big of a company, you should probably just design your own shit instead of stealing other people's shit that's literally in your fucking community. It's stupid.
I mean, you could even take and go, all of the function is nearly identical. It just has a very different aesthetic. And that's not so bad. I mean, it's kind of.
Because there's only so many ways to do stuff. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Like you can't make that thing a whole lot different, but you could. It's going to cost you a couple bucks in design work, but I'm just going to bite my tongue on a lot of the stuff I want to say. So,
no, that's why I'm here, is because I say whatever the fuck. But yeah,
no, I mean you're totally right. The
features anymore. So
there was things where even Barnaby, when he first started making a bunch of shit, he immediately was making things that resembled a whole bunch of stuff that Steve Mead makes. And Steve Mead isn't copycatting anybody's shit ever. Later, Ant.
Yeah.
So and Steve was like, "What the fuck, man?" And it was a little bit like, and then Chris and Barnaby had beef online because they were making shit that fucking was similar. But then they both kind of were like, "All right, we're on different paths of aesthetic and components. We also know that we're making things that resemble things that fucking Steve has done. So they're trying to pivot and have their own different aesthetic of that, And it's kind of like I'm reading Jay's comment down here, but it's kind of one of these things that's going to happen a bit, and sometimes it's going to be a little ugly, and it's a little bit different when you're like a guy in a garage with a fucking laser that's making something happen, and you're making something that's very similar to somebody that's got a successful product. Okay, cool. You can get the next level down thing that looks just like the best thing all day. But is it the same? It's not. It's kind of shitty, and you're kind of a biter, and you're kind of whack if you go down that path.
I agree.
But that's okay, because it doesn't take shit away from me. I could give 2 fucks. When initially somebody's making something and it doesn't have a distinct direct copycat similarity to your product, it's easy to be like, hey, that guy makes a pretty good product, you could use that shit. And then it's like, oh, my sales aren't doing all that well, let me just fucking be a copycat little bitch. And then it's like, well, I'm not gonna tell people to buy your shit because but if that works, if you want to fucking emulate somebody else's shit as directly as possible, it does say a lot about what's existing and how good it is. So
to an extent. So we all know what we're talking about here. We're talking about Jacob Scott ripping off Barnaby's
amp. We went over all that.
And
like
many other examples is my point. It's Jacob's not the only fucking slimy ass mother.
Yeah, but
all the logos too. Like 90% of their logos are just literally ripped art off of Google that he just modified a little bit.
Yeah, which disappointing for sure.
Honestly, dude, like I don't know the guy super personally at all. I don't know if I've ever even met him. I couldn't even tell you who he was if there was a lineup. Jacob Scott. Yeah. But I know when he first kind of busted on the scene as this SEO guru or whatever. Dude, it's just I'm not even gonna say it. Never mind.
No. But
And you know, I've complimented that guy many times about a lot of the stuff he's done with Down for Sound, and I like, and I was like, man, what you guys are doing over there is you guys are making some cool shit, and all the different amp colors and all the different crazy models you're doing, that's fucking brilliant. Because people are like, my build's this color, I want those, and I'm like, hey, and you know, and you're pretty reliable, and man, they're inexpensive, and that's all fucking brilliant, man. You guys are doing really good, and even JP was like, man, you know, I had to stop getting in the way, like I just had to leave it alone. But now I'm a little bit like, JP should step in and be like, hey, bro, why don't you slow down a little bit? Like, you want to just take a couple minutes and actually engineer something for yourself just a little bit? He's totally capable. You know what I mean? He's not a fucking dummy. I think he could do better if he had a little better integrity level with regards to things of that nature. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, especially with it, like the Barnaby thing. Like I said, that's in the community. You know what I mean? There's no way you wasn't gonna see it. I mean, it just disappointing. And then, you to an extent, you look at price and be like, damn, bro, why are you doing this? It's like, well, he's pretty hands off with Jacob, because
right.
Because that's why you hire someone. Because if you have to go back and double check everything your employee does, why you need an employee? You just do it yourself.
I would say that like, there should be a little level of like, hey, boss, what do you think? And it's like, hey, cool. And then, like, let's go over a list of things. Like, where'd you come up with that?
Yeah.
What is this? What is this based on?
And which, what's happened over the last week may definitely
be the case, right?
Prompt such things going forward, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, hey, man, we're taking some real slack for that, and your response to it was like extra ugly.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, you got like real unpleasant with people, and that's kind of whack, and like to some degree, I mean, a handful of people have been like, I'm not really a huge advocate or a fan of what Jacob's doing, but I will say that in a lot of ways I admired what he was doing, and I told him
the dude is a
really good job many times. But I'll also
he's a great product manager. He knows what the public wants. I tell him that. I'll tell you.
And I've complimented him very well. But just like anybody else, right? And if he considers myself a friend on any level, even just a decent acquaintance, because I've had conversations with him, be like, that's some buster ass shit, bro. You shouldn't do that.
Before what is it that you guys think is so special about any of the products that Down for Sound has came out with?
Well, it's not exactly super special. Those hexacone woofers and stuff. He's the first one that has that. That looks good. People like that shit.
That hexacone, the thing SoundCube did like a decade ago.
I don't know. That's the only one that I've ever seen that did that. But that's cool. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of what they're doing, but I think it's all pretty cool, and it's obviously selling really well. I don't think it's shit. I think it's decent.
I mean,
it's not bad.
Like if you have money, you can order amps in multiple colors. As far as like
I could get all of my amps in more colors if I would buy fucking 1,000 of them at a time, so I could get 100 of each. But I can only afford like 70 or 100 of each. So that's what I'm ordering, and they come all blue.
So I mean, if you have a lot of money, you could do everything they did. I wouldn't say there's anything going on there that is cutting edge or outside the box thinking. Like you're literally ordering amps out of a catalog and just saying, give me fucking 5 colors. Like, I don't think that that's anything special personally, but it's cool. It's cool.
So there's a little bit of credit there. That's all I'm saying.
All I'm saying is like Jacob even knowing that, like what different models of amps. I'm not saying that he's creating. He's obviously not making these amps. This is these are all second newest generation SNI. It's just SNI. But just knowing what the public is going to want. That's all I'm saying. He's great at that. Just knowing what the public wants.
Give me an example.
Colors. He knows the public wants colors. Boom, colors happen. Different, 4-channel, 5-channel, 7-channel.
Why is all the shit selling so well, right? I'm not gonna say they don't sell the product well. They sell a lot of shit. And
I mean, they sell a lot. I mean, obviously, they sell way more now than they did when they first came out because they're half the price they were. And when you give your amps away basically to some of the biggest builds in the country, you have a lot of people seeing them. That helps sell amps. But I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of Down for Sound or JP or any of those guys. So I'm going to be biased in my opinion, but to me, it's just an amplifier that's a different color. It looks like a US amps. They probably literally copied that too and put their logo on it in a color. Yeah, it's an amp from 20, 30 years ago. As far as the way it looks.
Aesthetic, the heatsink shape and aesthetic, yeah.
Yeah. So,
well, you know, it's
I always thought they looked more like
I try to be not. I'm pretty much
cases.
not biased because I'm not in JP's pocket, or he's not in my pocket at all. Right? He ain't feeding me no fucking money. So there's a reality. I also don't hate him for any particular reason. There's definitely been a lot of things he's said and done that I didn't think was fantastic, but I also saw a lot of it being kind of done to kind of poke and see what happens. And I haven't seen him do anything particularly horrible that makes me not like him. Now, with regards to this situation with Jacob on that shit, it'd be nice to see him respond and like pull Jacob under the reins and be like, hey, that looked pretty shitty to some people in the community. But then again, there may be a level of like, fuck those guys, that's good for business. And I'm super not a fan of being shitty to people because it's good for business, and that's something that JP rides right on the edge of a little bit that I don't think is that cool. But I also I do have to acknowledge that he is there, and when I've met him, I thought he was pretty cool, and they fucking sell a lot of shit, and a lot of people are really happy with that, but there's a lot of people that are not. So, you know, and there's people that fucking hate John, and I don't know how they could. But again, John's all up in my fucking pocket. I rock his money all the fucking time. John Raby's my fucking dude, and my business wouldn't be doing. I mean, it would exist, but it wouldn't be doing all this shit that we're doing without him. Well,
yeah, I mean, it's obvious. Like the reason why JP gets so much hate is because of the way he's acted over the last 10 years. Robbie doesn't get that kind of hate because he doesn't do that stuff. It just ends up rubbing people the wrong way, and then he doesn't stop doing it, so those people never really get over it. And then I don't know. It is what it is. Like I don't have to have any affiliation with JP. I don't, and we don't talk to each other, and we see each other's shows. We say hi, and that's about it. So cool.
And then
supporting the community, I don't fucking think that guy supports the community one bit. Like I've seen him snake up at more shows in a booth that someone he sells their product versus just giving the fucking show promoter $200 for his own space. Like that should happen. That should rub me really fucking the wrong way. Not only at my show, but multiple shows. You know, and it's like, dude, if you're gonna take so much from this community, you got to give back more.
I mean, I feel like, especially over the last couple of years, I feel like he's been the main sponsor of effectively every large show, or at least a big sponsor of every large show.
Which ones? That aren't affiliated with Sky, or not Sky, but Excess Power, which is like nobody. I don't know if it's how much they're affiliated with Down for Sound, how much that ownership thing goes on, but you hear the rumors all the time as far as Scotty being daddy. But like, which shows does he sponsor that aren't associated with Excess Power or in his home state?
So Heat Wave won, Made of Steel, Florida Finals. Any show that's been out here, he's been like back, scraping, Slam. Obviously, all the Sundown Excess Power stuff. I mean, basically everything on the East Coast. That's where we're at.
I mean, when you are at a show and you go get a booth, you are a sponsor. Everybody, like, that's how it goes. So I mean, I guess I didn't really word that the way I should have as far as giving back goes, but I don't know.
I see what you're saying.
Non-existent. What's that?
I see what you're saying. I mean, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, if we go to goes to a show, we got to pay hundreds of dollars to get a booth there and Bird sponsor, like that. But more than that, like shows, we're a tiny ass company. I can't tell. We get emails like every day. Can you help sponsor our show? And the majority of them, it's like, yeah, we'll send you a $50 gift card or a couple gift cards or whatever. Like, it's that kind of stuff. Not just it's a show I'm going to go to sell and make a bunch of money. So now I'm a sponsor. Like, that isn't giving back in in my opinion. But whatever.
No.
We could move on. Yeah.
So, I thought I might bring up a little bit. My buddy Mikey, he's here somewhere. He might be in his truck doing some work because he owns a plumbing business. But my buddy Mikey is gonna have us build him. What the fuck is that little van called? I sent the picture. You wanna bring it
Mercedes
up?
Sprinter.
It's not a Sprinter. It's like a
The little one. Okay, little one.
or something. I mean, it shares some parts with the Sprinter, but like it's a smaller cab and it's a little shorter and it's a gas engine, but it's a cool looking little Mercedes van.
I'm trying to pull it up in 1 second.
What is that thing called? I want to say Venza, but I could be fucking totally delusional. We're shooting for maybe like 1812s in this little sucker. It looks a lot like that one, but it's got a sliding door on both sides, I guess, and it's glass all the way around. So we'll have lots of acrylic to be able to see inside of the build. It'll have steel cage with like 2-inch thick acrylic, and should be a lot of fun.
Metrics,
whatever.
Matrix
with an M.
Matrix. Can it dodge a bullet?
Metris. Metris. Tetris
Is
with
it
an
like
M.
is it like the size of just like a minivan kind of, or is it kind of between a minivan and a Sprinter?
I think it's like a full size van, not a big oversized van like a Sprinter. So I think it's
kind of like a Chevy fucking, what are those vans called?
like an Astro van size kind of van, I think, right? Like,
Well, that would be like
not like a truck chassis van, but like it probably has a frame. God, I hope it has a frame. If we find that thing's a fucking unibody, I'm gonna be all, I don't know, bro. like you know. But are
you gonna, what kind of, like an orientation? Flat, plane, V? What are you doing? We don't know yet.
it's gonna have speakers in it and metal and acrylic and amplifiers.
He don't know yet.
Yeah.
Probably do a fourth.
Probably do a fourth. I feel like you can fit more than 1812s in there.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's 24.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, that sounds better. 6 rows of 4, or
like 12 and 12 or something like that.
No Power V.
Let's see how big this thing is.
You're finding fucking dimensions for me. He's gonna bring it here on Saturday morning, and we're gonna climb in and measure it. A fucking Aerostar. We've talked about doing an Aerostar for fucking years. I love, like, have you ever seen a sick ass Aerostar? Remember the movie Menace to Society? What's Menace to Society? When he has the fucking pimped out Ford Aerostar, it's pretty dope. But like, Aerostars, as goofy as they look, can look pretty fucking sick, and it's pretty much a Ford Ranger. So it's got a frame, it's got the twin I-beam front suspension. A lot of times they'll have the 4-liter V6 in them, and be kind of sick. But yeah, so what do you got?
Be honest,
we're gonna be all right, unless that guy's as short as me. Then we don't have that much.
It's basically a minivan, yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's kind of roomy minivan situation. I think we're gonna be all right.
It comes just like that, gutted. There's only front seats in it.
It has some seats in it because this one is like a 2013 that his mom used to use for some stuff, and he's like, this is like sitting there. Should we use that? And I was like, that's fucking sick. Let's build that.
No, you might as well go ahead and order the stripper pole for the windshield, because that angle, it ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, I'll fab that shit out of acrylic. Yeah. So yeah. You don't think those have a frame? Jerry Eastman knows. Well, it's gonna have a fucking goddamn internal fucking skeleton of steel. So there's that. He's not worried about driving it around much. He was like, as long as it can get around on surface streets like pretty well around town and get itself onto a fucking trailer, I'm good. I'm like, sick. 2412s it is. Steve talked me into it. Get weird and do 25 and do like 5 subs on each amp and do like 5 15Ks.
I don't know.
For one turn on. You can name it the
The what? You turned into a robot and got silent as you said it. So now I'm like,
Am I moving? Am I?
now you're kind of frozen. You went into robot mode again.
Jesus. So call it the recone if you're going to do 10Ks.
Called the Recone. That's a good.
No, it'd be 5 15Ks. So there'd be 5 subs on each, 3K on each sub. We're gonna be all right.
I thought you meant 5Ks per sub.
Fuck. No, 5 15Ks on so 5 on each amp.
Are these what's a 15K? Who's Ruthless? Or
The Gately ones that are coming.
oh.
I will have the test, the new version of the test prototype. It'll have quad inputs and a way bigger fucking heat sink. I had to pay for the tooling again.
Oh,
Are you calling it a 50 or is it 10K?
My first one I tested on Steve's dyno, and at 13.8 volts at a half ohm, it made like 15,800 or some shit, or 15,200 watts. So I'm good.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to use Gately amps. They're coming. They'll be, and I don't know if it'll be, and it'll be a 10K amp that made about almost 11,000 at 13.8 at 1 ohm.
So what are you going to call it?
We might call it a 10. We might call it a 10.5. So something like that. 10,500. Whatever the fuck power it makes at 13.8 volts at 1 ohm is what I'll call it.
good name.
But it'll be 17 volts stable, so we'll run that motherfucker at like 16 and a half fucking volts at, like 0.4 ohms, and I'll have, 18,000 watt fucking amplifier.
Hell yeah.
Damn.
So big shows coming up.
Just like my amps, they're just stretched way wider. They're like 2 inches wider, so it's got a whole bunch more heat sink fins. So they're really, it's gonna be fucking sexy.
So next, what are the next big shows? Obviously, Heatwave is that this weekend?
That is. I'm leaving Friday at some point, and I may not stay all weekend. I don't know, because like I said, I'm not doing anything with the wagon, so I might just compete in SQ, hang out, and then come home Sunday morning.
Give everybody a hug and a high five and fucking burn rubber. I like that.
We'll see. I mean, it depends on how hot it is. That's gonna be the. I'm gonna be honest. That's gonna be the answer.
If the weather's decent, it might stay a little longer. If it's hot as fuck, it might not be there very
long.
We are very excited for Surf City, though. That's coming up really soon. You'll be there, right, Steve? Drew, you
that's kind of what I was
out there, or
getting
you
into.
go to the Sundown show? They're both the same weekend.
Sundown show.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah,
you got representation of our crew on both ends.
I mean, it depends. If you want to get some, I mean, I wouldn't mind getting you in the truck and taking a listen. And if you want to get some time in your car before Saturday, I could try to come kind of early, or if not, don't matter. Just got to figure out.
Surf and Sundown on the same weekend. I don't remember
exactly why. They couldn't really be further apart in the country. We're like fucking, northwest and southeast is like. Yep. I mean, like, I suppose the Sundown show could be at the tip of Florida, and that'd make it weird. But
do you know why it got moved up a week, Bobby?
I have no fucking idea.
I don't know either. But yeah, I will be there with the Explorer. It will be there. I'm just really fucking hoping that we get this door figured out. I know we will, but it's above my pay grade, so I'm just hoping.
Just swing that motherfucker both doors open and run that shit. If you don't.
Well, if I don't, I mean, there's no way to get a door back on there if we don't get this done right. So
I see what you're saying.
We cut the hinges.
Then you just put the strap around it if you fucking, I don't know. Yeah. I hate that shit.
If I can't
like
get the door back on,
I have like a thing about the fucking ratchet strap around the truck on the door thing. I just don't.
That's the when I see someone competing, and I know it's allowed in DB Drag and other orgs, but if I see a ratchet strap around your car when you're competing, and someone's like sitting on your roof, I'm like, bro, don't give me shit about putting a meter in the kick. Look at you right this second. You look like a cargo load. God damn, bro. Out of here.
Shit. So Surf City, we should have Soulgasm, the Guillotine, Slam Halen, monkey box, and then we got a build that we're working on for homie Keyshawn that'll have 6 Sundown X 15s in a blow through with 3 Ruthless 8500s at a half ohm on each amp. Running that thing, it should be pretty fucking wild as well. And obviously Steve's build is got some Gately participation in that, and I'm trying to think of any of them that I might be missing, but like that's a pretty big slew, and we're a pretty big sponsor of Surf this year, so we're gonna have a whole ass booth and a fucking row of fucking Gately builds. So, and we're gonna bring out some amps and speakers and the whole fucking thing. Be like the first time we did that shit. Damn, Steve looks like he had a stroke right there with that freeze. Oh, and then all of a sudden there was like a flash of like a fucking vape cloud for a second. Now he looks scary. He's mad at me.
God.
Turn into the evil robot right now.
Do you know if Jeremy's going to have his build done for Surf? I can't recall.
I don't know.
Ain't no way. Wait,
No.
you talking about Jeremy Boyd?
Yeah, there's no way, huh?
Ain't no way. Well, I mean,
what's he doing? I haven't heard from him at all. I used to talk to him all the time.
Well, he is that one. I think is going to be there. The one they're building the blow through.
Oh, the 415s. Yeah, that probably be done. I guess.
But, yeah, I mean, I'm sure you knew, Bobby. May have forgot, but Jeremy's part of that kicker competition group. He's one of the.
Oh, that's right. I do know that. Yes, of course.
So he's building a Suburban, I believe. 99% sure, and it's all fully steel cage, and it looks like it's concrete on the bottom of the cage. Hard to tell. It's something down there, but I'm sure it'll be pretty nasty. 815s, I believe.
Sick. Well, hey, gentlemen, I am fucking starving like I'm gonna die, and I want to get the fuck out of here. So let's wrap this shit up, and let's go eat some food and do whatever we do. How do you feel about that?
I feel good.
Got anything else we need to cover before we wrap this bitch up?
Thought I had something.
I'm not sure what Hump's talking about. I mean, he can try to get in my DNS servers. That'd be funny. Like, I used to own an internet marketing company, so it would be fun if he tried to do something like that. I still have a lot of friends in India. I could fuck shit up pretty badly. So he probably shouldn't do that.
Doesn't sound like a brilliant idea.
No.
You could do pretty good. That's
my van and my truck are very worthy of competing in sound quality. Not likely to win anything because I have to compete in expert, and they're really built for like daily driver and functional use. But I scored pretty well my first time. I did okay, and everybody listening was like, "This thing sounds fucking great. This thing would be fun as hell to drive around." So I may compete. I will have my van there, and we might bring my truck as well, but maybe not. But I may compete in SQ with my van. It just really depends on how much time I have and what's going on. So maybe I'll compete in SQ at Surf. Kind of fun.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Speaking of SQ, before we jump off, I don't know if you saw that question earlier, Drew, about the OA stuff. Have you heard any of it?
Yeah. No, actually, I haven't heard any of it, actually.
I did get a chance to hear a couple cars with it at the Showdown, because obviously Scott's company, so there's people there in Vegas that have the stuff. It's really nice looking stuff, and it's not expensive.
It looks good for sure.
It'd be cool if you could get your hands on some of the mid-range drivers and the tweeters and do some of your testing.
Yeah, I'm all about some threes and tweeters, man. That's like the most. It's like the heart of the system. You know, to me, the threes and the tweeters, they got to be money. They got to be dialed in, and they actually don't have to be money. I have a set of tweeters in the truck now that are less than half the price probably of what was in there. And I like them worlds better, like a lot better.
Yeah. Well, boys.
Oh, I know it. I know what Damien's talking about with kicker now. He's being goofy.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. I had something else I wanted to bring up, but I can't fucking remember now. I don't know.
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, whatever you guys call yourselves, fucking go fix that goddamn engine noise and be nice to people and get out to some shows and have a good time. And I will look forward to talking to you guys next week. Good work, gentlemen.
All right, boys. See you next week.
Later.
Later.
Peace.